Last episode, the team kept within striking distance of a European spot, and now with the season coming to a close, can we secure a top 6 finish? Hey, what's going on, guys? We're getting straight to the action today. You're not going to want to miss a second of it. It is a wild episode. Tons of games coming up. But first off, we take on RB Leipzig in a battle for a top 6 spot. They're in 5th, we're in 7th, so this one matters a lot. And you know, at this point in the season, it's all about consistency. We've shown what we can do against the big guns in the Bundesliga before. It's just a matter of doing that with more frequency at this point in the season. Fortunately, the defense is rock solid. We suffer a barrage of attempts at goal, a little fortunate maybe with a couple of them, but we hold RB Leipzig all the way to the 91st minute when a soft free kick is given just outside the area and a 36-year-old Sergio Aguero steps up to put it into the back of the net from some distance. Unbelievable free kick. But unfortunately for us, that means we suffer defeat after a really hard-fought 90 minutes that keeps us down in 7th place, 1 point shy of that top 6 spot we are desperately looking for. But this story is not over yet. 14 games left to play. Alright, so with that initial game in the bag, let's take a quick look at the rest of the season here. 3 games to round out February before we get into a busy March where we face off with bitter rivals Dortmund. Then in April, 5 more games, one of them the semi-finals of the German Cup, which should be very exciting. And then we finish off the season with 3 more matches in May. And let's get straight to them. Alright, so kicking back off the action, some quick highlights from these. Union Berlin taken down thanks to a wonderful effort from Schalke. Unlikely goal scorer Goran Stankovic finds the back of the net, and then maybe an even more unlikely goal scorer in the captain Hugo Hawkins to cap the game off. 2-0. He's developed a real knack for scoring the center back, and it's a welcome addition to the team for sure. Egelbrook, definitely a more likely goal scorer, gets our first in this game. Dusseldorf keep it tight though until the end of the match when Hugo Hawkins finishes again. Unbelievable stuff. I am running out of words to describe our center back and how valuable he is to the team. Well, if scoring last game wasn't enough, this time it's for all the points. It secures us a win and 3 big ones. On to the next now, it's Mainz in the league as we continue on the back of some hot performances. This one a little tighter for sure as Mainz have us pinned back a goal down 60 minutes into the game. Schalke with all the possession like we've been developing in terms of our style this season. Eventually it pays off. Amadou Onana with a lovely little back heel through to that man again, Egelbrook, who grabs a goal. This time though, it's not enough to get a win and the draw keeps us very close here. 23 games in, we are in 6th, but it's a delicate hold we have because as of now, it's only on goal difference. Well, it's a pivotal point in this season. We've done so well to work ourselves into the top 6, and now we have our toughest challenge yet. Our rivals Dortmund in the league, they're in 1st. They're one of the best teams in the world at the moment with an absolutely stacked squad. And at the moment, anything but a win could see us fall back out of the top 6. They gave us a real run earlier in the season, or rather we gave them a run after going 1 goal up. They finished 2 goals late in the game to send us back down to a loss after a really hard-fought performance. Hopefully this time around we won't be seeing the same fate. We're gonna go out there and try to prove ourselves. It was definitely better than the first time we played them in this career, the 5-1 loss, so hopefully we'll just keep improving. So with all eyes on this game, let's get to it. Alright, we are back in action against Dortmund. It's an away matchup. It could not get any more difficult at this point in the season, searching for points. Dortmund, like I mentioned, is one of the best teams in the entirety of this save, having kept a hold of Haaland and Sancho as well as made a few smart additions to the team. They're stacked from top to bottom. It is a really powerful side, and although we did give them a good run earlier in the season, it's clear that they are head and shoulders above all the other teams in the division at the moment, including Bayern, who you wouldn't necessarily expect to not be topping the Bundesliga season after season. But as with any rivalry, you know that the heated passion that gets brought into the game can always change the tide of things, and we're definitely going to give it a proper run out here. Abner Aliou getting caught out gives away a free kick in a dangerous position, but so far Schalke looking up to the task and defending really well. I think we're going to have to look to break on the counterattack and see what we can do, but unfortunately, it's just not quite coming off. Another disappointing couple of minutes here from Eric Tommy, who has struggled this season, our right midfielder, hoping to get the best out of him once again, but unfortunately, we just haven't quite seen it this season when we need it the most. Dortmund doing all the pressing here and eventually sneak through Jadon Sancho, who can't quite get on the end of that, and we are desperately clinging on here as we approach halftime. So many chances coming in. Brandt rockets one off of the back line. We've barely touched the ball. Fortunately, we've done some really, really good defending to drive the opposition back, and we take it through 45 minutes, so far untouched. Still 0-0. And we dive into the second half here, looking to get another one of those performances out, maybe grab a goal ourselves. But that's assuming that we can keep a clean sheet in this game, and that is a big assumption. Thomas Partey rips one from distance. Abner Ali, you gotta be careful. He's on a yellow card, eventually deals with it, and again, it's poked away. 65 minutes into the match, and really, even in this second half, we've barely touched the ball. Stankovic looks to slide Egelbrook through, looks offside, and he wasn't able to get on the end of it regardless, and now we find ourselves back on the defensive. Dortmund have numbers forwards. It's 3-on-3, ball played through. Fortunately for us, it's a sloppy one, and we keep a hold of this slim scoreline, 0-0, with 12 minutes remaining here. All we have to do is continue what we've been so far. Marcus Ingvartsen, the sub, coming on, knocks it down and takes a crack from distance. Well, that's about all you can say from Schalke in this game so far. That's pretty much what we've been reserved to. Pretty audacious shot, but with no runners ahead of him, that's about all we were able to get a hold of there. Egelbrook now with seconds remaining in the match, looking to counter-attack. Can we find something? No, Ingvartsen gets in the way there of Goran Stankovic, dribbling out of midfield, and it looks like the game is going to wind down. Well, we couldn't grab a goal, but regardless, this is a massive result. A win would have been crucial for us, but all things considered, a draw, and especially keeping a clean sheet against a side like Dortmund, is outstanding. Alright, well, finally, Bozdogan is back from injury. Our star central midfielder has struggled big time this season with injury. He's missed the vast majority of our games, to be honest. Fortunately, we've done alright without him. We're in 7th place, 2 points off of Hoffenheim after that draw. Really disappointing that we couldn't stay in the top 6, but we still have 10 games remaining to prove what we've got, and I fully intend to go into those games and do exactly that. Well, it seems like that draw against Dortmund has given the team a boost. Egelbrook breaks the deadlock just before halftime with a lovely strike from the edge of the area to put Schalke in front. Fortunately for us, the game only goes up from there. Michael Maiden scoring, and although we do concede late in the game, we secure 3 points, and an important 3 at that. Next up, it's Borussia Mönchengladbach in the league and a tough away fixture that could decide the course of the season. With 9 games left, they are the team sitting in 5th place right now. If we want to close that gap down at all, it has to be here and now. But they definitely won't be pushovers. They're a team also fighting to stay in the top 6, so we know it's going to be a tough matchup, especially considering it is away and they'll be in front of the fans who will likely be cheering them on with all that they've got. Fortunately, Schalke, still off the back of some good performances, are able to give this game a really good run. A counterattack here from the side looks deadly. The question is, can we shape up and find a goal at the end of it? Evan Rotundo plays a lovely weighted ball through to Sidi Sane, who buries it. Well, we haven't seen all that many goals from him over the course of this career, but they've been coming more and more as of late, and he's getting involved in the play. That was a lovely move from the entire team, and fortunately, things continue in that direction. Goran Stankovic, another rocket from the edge of the area. It seems he's finally found his shooting boots, and we take all 3 points in a huge fixture that could decide the rest of this season. Alright, well, all said and done, unfortunately we still are in 7th place. Hoffenheim 3 points ahead of us, but the big news is we have a game in hand. If we win this, we could be back in that 6th placed position. Still a couple games left to play, most notably Freiburg away in the semifinals of the German Cup. Could we take it to the final this season? Only time will tell. But with a lot of games left to play and a lot of big games at that, we got to make sure that every single result from here to the end of the season is a positive one. So with that said, let's get back to it. All right, we kick things back off against Köln, who, those of you who have watched for a while know have become somewhat of a rival for us over these last couple seasons. Although fortunately for us, as of late, results have gone in our favor during our head-to-head matchups. Evan Rotundo separates the two teams with an absolutely unreal assist for Igel Brook, who caps off the move to finish a tight scoreline 1-0 in our favor. 3 big points again, and on we go. So it's a big result against Köln, but now can we get it done against some of the bigger teams in the league? Bayer Leverkusen, our next opponents, really give us a run for our money here early in the game. Couple great shots at goal. Fortunately, that resilient Schalke backline stands up to the task so far. Between Bredlow and Hawkins, there are some unreal last-ditch challenges and saves made. But try as we might, it all comes crashing down as Leverkusen do manage to grab a goal after a significant amount of pressure, so fair play to them, but we're back on level terms. Evan Rotundo slips through Sidi Sane to make it 1-1, and with 24 minutes left in the game, it's all down to Schalke to see if we can't go on to grab a win here. Unfortunately for us, it's Leon Bailey who grabs the second, slid through with an unreal pass. How about that for the composure and finish? That settles the game. Schalke still in 7th place, 28 games into the season. That leaves us 3 points behind Hoffenheim and still in desperate search of 6th. With 6 games left in the season, every point here counts. Fortunately, we're looking up to the task. Igel Brook scores against Frankfurt to put us ahead 2-1 and secure a victory. And against Werder Bremen, it's Evan Rotundo, who's been in really hot form as of late with an unbelievable, amazing solo run. Megs the center back, puts it in the back of the net to finish 1-0. Absolutely unreal. Schalke back in the running here, still in 7th place, but we've closed the gap down to 2 points. And with 4 games left in the season, it is still anyone's to play for. So at this point, we just got to keep our heads down and focus on results. All right, we get a break in the league action. Finally, it's the semifinals in the German Cup. Can we bring ourselves to the finals? We almost did it last season. It really came down to the wire, and now for a 2nd year running, we have the opportunity to do so. It would be huge for a club of Schalke's stature that's suffered as of late. It has been 5 really difficult seasons since the team's financial collapse at the outset of this career. Honestly, if we were going to take any kind of draw in this, Bayern was the option on the other side of things. So Freiburg, definitely a winnable game. I won't get ahead of ourselves here. I mean, it's going to be a difficult one, but we'll rock the 3rd kit for this one. A special occasion for sure. In terms of the lineup here, we're going to rotate a little bit too. Dan Rose has been our cup goalkeeper. He deserves it. Bozdogan back from injury and ready to feature. We're going to try to dominate possession. I think he'll help us out in midfield. The rest of the lineup unchanged. It's a strong one from us because we are desperate to pull ourselves through here to the final. Can we get it done? Well, we're about to find out. All right, here we go, guys. A huge occasion. This is going to be a crazy end to the season. Shout out the finals here, and then after this, 4 games remaining in the season to figure out if we are going to finish in a European position or not. This should be, on paper at least, a pretty even matchup. I mean, honestly, if not favoring us slightly, Schalke definitely significantly better than Freiburg in terms of league positioning at the moment. We're going to be committed to this possession style, though, especially playing against a team like this, who we won't necessarily expect to dominate the ball. Some nervous playing out of the back, but really composed in the execution there. Sidi Sane, first good chance of the game, flying through with pace. It's saved from the goalkeeper in Igel Brook. The follow-up saved as well. Lovely stuff from the Freiburg keeper, but we keep the pressure on here, trying to find a way through. Sidi Sane, blocked cross, but again stays tenacious, wins the ball back. Can he deliver that final pass? No, not that time around, but we are piling on the pressure here early on in the match and really dominating proceedings. But Freiburg might be changing the tides a little bit here with a counterattack shaping up. Stefan looking to play the ball over the top, and it finds the feet of Michy Batshuayi, who gets the better of Philip Oakes and then sends it curling into the far post to open the scoring for this game. Under 30 minutes into the match, we find ourselves a goal down. Batshuayi does some really good work on that. Great run, and then a great touch inside. How about that finish? Well, we got a little bit of a mountain to climb now. The tide's turning here with Freiburg dominating the possession leading up into the second half. Another Batshuayi effort flies off the crossbar. Unfortunately, now we find ourselves on the counterattack. It's been end-to-end stuff in this game, really exciting. Sidi Sane looks up for this one. He's just gliding past players at the moment, and he finds the feet of Igel Brook, who levels proceedings back up before halftime. Well, it's our talisman up top, who again scores when it matters the most. And going into the second 40 45 minutes now. The scoreline is level once again. Trying to play out from the back again. It's a little nervy here for Schalke. Really high press from Freiburg, who seem to have caught on to our game plan, and we are trying our best to keep a hold of possession. Fortunately, really good hold-up play there from Brook sends us again on the counterattack. Sidi Sane can use his pace well. Now can he pick out that final ball again? Sane gliding inside, and he picks out Brook. Well defended by the opposition. Tons of chances so far, but scoreline still remains 1-1. It's starting to get heated here. Hugo Hawkins goes down after a little bit of a dirty challenge in the box there. You can see him complaining to the referee, but it's just going to keep going that way. With under 10 minutes left now, Hawkins returns the favor there with a little bit of a challenge back. He's got to be careful, the captain, as well as all the players here, that we don't give away any free kicks or especially red cards. Last thing we need is down to 10 men here at the pivotal moments of the game. Michael Maiden, though, with maybe one final chance, bombing up the pitch here with his fresh legs, cutting inside incisively, but Abram gets a great foot to that with a really lovely challenge out of the back line. Brook looking to open things up after we win the ball back in a dangerous area, but again, nothing quite comes of it. Schalke poking and prodding around the edge of the penalty area. Well, as things stand now, it looks like we might be going to extra time. That is, if Freiburg don't have one last thing to say about it. Seconds remaining. Ball over the top is a good one. Dan Rose out there, and he just barely gets a foot to that. Well done, and I think the whistle is going to blow. Yes, it does. We're going to extra time. It has been a tense affair. Insane 90 minutes here. Ends 1-1. And with 30 minutes left to play, can we find ourselves a spot in the final? All we need is one goal and to manage to keep our defense organized here over the next two small halves of football left to be played. Freiburg now off of a corner, and Schalke looking to keep their shape defensively, cutting inside. It's Felix Paslak who looks to grab a hold of that loose ball, but it was an unfair challenge, says the referee, and now Freiburg free kick in a very dangerous area. Ball goes into the box, headed, and it's another goal. 2-1 down, heartbreaking. With 14 minutes remaining in the game, we find ourselves down once again. Freiburg have been up for the challenge. You can see by the way they celebrate with the fans, they think they've put the game to bed, but the game is far from over at this point. We still have a chance to get ourselves back in this, and we have to throw everything we have at it. Again, a little poor defensively there. You'd hope that our center backs could have done better to close the distance on that header. It was a little too easy at the near post. But Brook goes down. No card given though, and apparently it was just outside the area. Looked like a pen to me, but it is literally on the line. Philip Oakes, can he convert? With the game winding down, we might not be able to get too many more quality chances. Here we go, stepping up the left back. Oh, it's just over the bar. Couldn't quite keep it down like he wanted. And with 15 more minutes gridlocked between the two teams, that's a wrap. The whistle blows. 120 hard-fought minutes between these sides, and we come out worse for the wear. 2-1, it's a narrow defeat. Once again in the semifinal, we couldn't get the job done to drag us all the way to the final. Regardless, it's a spirited performance from the team, so we gotta keep our heads up with the season winding down and get back to work in the league. Alright, well, that's a disappointing one for sure, but in all likelihood Bayern will be going through to the final, assuming they get the better of Stuttgart, and that would have been a difficult one, but we have more important things to focus on here. With 4 games remaining, every point's going to count here. We have to close this gap 2 points, which we'll have to rely on either Hoffenheim or Mönchengladbach to drop points to succeed, but if we win all the games in front of us, there's a decent shot we could do exactly that. With some tired legs from the cup, I'm going to rotate the squad just a little bit here, try to get a little bit of a fresh rejuvenation to the squad, see if we can't get out there and get a definitive win in our next couple games. So with Hanover our next opponents, let's get straight back to the action. Alright, here we go. Season really winding down at this point, and it is that brick wall in the center of the pitch once again. Goran Stankovic wins 3 challenges in a row to release Ingvartsen in a little pocket of space and then find himself back on the end of the move to cap it off. He's had an outstanding episode, scoring a fair few goals coming out of that defensive mid position, which we're definitely not necessarily expecting from his role. Eric Tommy returns a pass back to Ingvartsen to put the game to bed. 2-0 Schalke, back to their absolute best here. And Ingvartsen really making noise as a striker, whether he's coming off the bench or starting games. He's been a more than welcome addition to the team from January. So, sitting in 7th place, 2 points still remain. Can we get it done? Alright, back to action, and Schalke desperate for another win. This time, it's probably for all the marbles. Hoffenheim in 5th. Obviously, we are in 7th. If we get a win here, it just might close that gap, but nothing less than a win will do for us in terms of us versus Hoffenheim, assuming they don't drop points in the 2 games after this. So it's a really high-pressure situation, but the team's been up to it before, and we get off to a flying start here as Sidi Sane puts a ball into the box to force a corner. It's been all Schalke so far, and with 10 minutes to halftime, can we find ourselves a little lead going into the second? Yes, Sidi Sane with a rocket from outside the area. Oh my lord, this guy's really stepping up to the plate here as the seasons go on and starting to become a star for this team. That's a very important goal. Unfortunately for us, it's undone before 60 minutes as Hoffenheim find a goal of their own to really put the pressure on us. With not a lot of quality action after that, that's how the game finishes. 1-1, 2 points dropped. That's disappointing. But there's more action left to be played. Bielefeld, our next opponents, with 2 games left. We really have to make sure we finish the season on a strong note. And boy, do we do exactly that. Igelbrook with a well-composed goal in front of goal, taking on the goalkeeper, and then Bozdogan does exactly the same. Sidi Sane, that's as easy as you like, taking his time to put that one in for our second. Sane really looking up for the challenge here. Unbelievable solo run to score our 3rd goal. Rocket outside the box, took on 2 or 3 men, and man, he is turning into something special. Definitely still got some work to do before he starts to rival his older brother Leroy, but I back him to make that happen if he keeps developing the way that he has. Hugo Hawkins again finding himself forwards, this time for an assist, sets it up. Ingvartsen in the back of the net, and then the cherry on top of it all, Ingvartsen goes down just outside the area with seconds left in the game. Sane stepping over this one who's on a hat trick. Oh my lord, how about that to complete his 3-goal spectacular performance? Sidi Sane sits down his man at the top of the box and then sinks the shot from distance. Lovely performance from the team, 5-0, our biggest win this season. And with us still sitting in 7th place, it's coming down to the last game of the season. Well, at this point, we gotta rely on the teams above us to slip up, but we're within striking distance of 4th, 5th, and 6th. But none of it matters if we don't get a win. We need all 3 points, so let's get out there and make it happen. How about this for a tense finish to the season? It all comes down to this. Us against Hertha Berlin, who are sitting in 11th. In theory, not that much left to play for. Hopefully that'll work out in our favor. But like I said, nothing less than a win will count today. And we're getting straight to it. Hugo Hawkins ready to captain this side in one final push this season. We need a win here if we want to finish or even have a chance at finishing in a European spot. Like I said, it's going to rely on one of the teams ahead of us dropping points. But with 4th, 5th, and 6th all in the running, all we need is one of those 3 teams to lose, assuming we do win. And maybe settle it on goal difference, but we have a very positive goal difference at this stage of the season thanks to our outstanding defense this year, and hopefully it'll be enough to drag us through. But first things first, we need a win, and that is a big if, because Hertha Berlin are no easy team to roll over, but obviously we are going to throw everything we have at this. Really high pressing stuff from Schalke early in the game, not giving them a minute to think on the ball. Eric Tommy, tricky footwork to pick out Igelbrook in the center of the pitch. We're moving the ball around confidently, looking for any kind of opening. Rotundo slides it through. Brook opens up for a shot, and he's brought down in the box. No call given. No penalty awarded to Schalke. I guess it was a fair challenge, but we're looking to still put the pressure on high up the pitch and make sure they can't play out. Booted out again. It's been a dominant performance from Schalke so far. Haven't even let them have a sniff of our goal. Igelbrook, what a lovely turn, although he does unfortunately get knocked down once again. No call given. He's had a bit of a rough treatment, this striker up top this game, but I do back him to find the back of the net if given the opportunity in this game. He has been so good the last 15-20 games of this season. Kieran Tierney giving away a foul in a pretty dangerous area here for Amadou Onana to chip it up. Philip Oakes from distance. It's into the back line, but it's recycled again. Onana again defended really well there. Hertha Berlin are a tough side to break through. Eventually, Igelbrook, couple inches ahead of him there with the pass. And now we're going into the second half. Still scoreless, 0-0. We need to find a goal out of something here. Philip Oakes. It's definitely not for a lack of effort here from Schalke. We've had plenty of half chances, and again, Evan Rotundo just inches away from getting his boot on that one. It was a lovely idea. And now we find ourselves on the counterattack. Ingvartsen playing striker now with Egil Brook playing as a secondary accessory to him. Felix Paslak into the box, looking to make something happen. Sidi Sane heads it straight at the goalkeeper. Well, so many chances, but unfortunately for us, nothing to show for it just yet. But still 15 minutes left in the match. Egil Brook is away in space. Can he just do it all himself? Egil Brook! Yes, he does it! A goal on the final day of the season to put us in front, and if the scoreline holds, we have a very good shot at playing in Europe next season. How important would that be to the club? You can see what it means to the fans who are going absolutely wild. Well, we've thrown everything we had at this game, and honestly, I think we could be even more up than we are at the moment. But with 10 minutes remaining, we have to be careful here to not let this lead slip. Like I said, not even a draw would do the trick for us in this game. Hertha Berlin, for the first time in the match, starting to have a little bit of possession and work the ball around. Seems like they have something to play for here. Maybe if it's just not their pride. Den Donker closed down by Stankovic, but somehow still comes away with the ball. Den Donker picks out the pass for Vinicius. Oh, and he sneaks it past Bredlow. 1-1 with only minutes remaining in the match. Really puts the pressure on Schalke here. We gave it our all this game. We had so many good chances. Couldn't finish enough of them. And unfortunately, that's it. 92 minutes in, we settle for a draw on the final day of the season. We needed a win if we wanted a shot at top 6, and that is absolutely gutting for this squad. Well, we gave it our all, but this time around, our all just wasn't good enough. Well, that was a stressful finish to the season. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out with us in the cup or really in the league. But we gotta take a step back. I know we were pushing for top 6, that was the focus at the tail end of the season, but the fact that we even snuck into 7th this season, considering we went in thinking we were relegation favorites, really says a lot about this team. We honestly overcame so much, we played as a team, we established a style, and just being able to take a step back and evaluate our season as a whole, it was fantastic. Some real breakout stars in the squad this season as well. Hugo Hawkins obviously captaining out of the back line, 4 goals and 2 assists, not too shabby for a center back either. Egil Brook, obviously another one of the stars in the squad, banged 22 goals in this season. He's really started to step up, and teams are taking note at this point. Honestly, so many other solid players for us as well. Goran Stankovic was a fantastic signing in the center of the pitch. Evan Rotundo is proving to be one of the brightest young center mids, not only in Germany, but in the entire world at this point. 20 years old, 78 rated with tons of potential, and Sidi Sane really starting to fulfill his as well. Scored 6, assisted 2. I still want to see better from him, but he seems to get better with every passing game, so I'm confident that he will. If you guys want to check out the squad and how we finished this season, go to respectthejeff.com. You can click on the Schalke section and see all of the detailed stats, as well as the attributes for the players. Drop some comments there and get involved. And if you're interested in getting more involved in the series as a whole, I have a Discord. It's free. Go click on the link in the description. You guys can get involved with the transfers that we have, the new kits, things like that. And a huge shout out to everyone that's been involved up until this point. You guys are the reason I keep making these videos, so thank you so much. Also consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already and you're enjoying the content. Helps me out a lot. Continue to make good videos and keep these kind of careers going into FIFA 22. With that said though, this career is far from over with Schalke. We're not finishing off on that note. We're going another season, maybe even 2 if we can sneak it in before the release of the new game. But we know we're going to give it a good push with the team we have in front of us. Lots of twists and turns left in this tale, and I hope you all are along for the ride. I'll be back soon with the next episode in Season 6, but until then, I'm Respect the Jeff, and I'll see you next time.